What did the player do?
Who took his helmet?
I bet he's fine.
What did the player do?
What play was that? We don't see
This was KRIS Boyd on special teams. The thing is, what we see right here is him pushing a coach. And in your brain, what is that telling you?
He's mad.
He's mad.
He's angry at his coach.
He's angry at maybe his coach. Right? Right now, if you push, it's like if you push me.
Unnecessary roughness.
Unnecessary roughness, absolutely. So the media, like we talked about with AJ Brown, right? When we saw AJ Brown reading on the sidelines, everybody wanted to portray him as a bad teammate. They wanted to say he was a bad teammate because he wasn't doing the right thing. After this happened, and when camera footage caught KRIS Boyd shoving his coach, everybody wanted to portray him as he was angry. Right? He was upset. He should be kicked off the team. He shouldn't be asked back. He should not play for the Texans next season. Out. Everybody wanted to jump to conclusions about what was happening here. I agree. When I first saw this, I was like, ooh, that's not good. But just like with AJ Brown, when you listen to what he has to say about what really happened, you're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Because he wasn't pushing his coach in anger. And he wasn't angry with his coach. I'm going to show you what he... Right, what? What do you mean, what he wasn't angry?
Wait, how could he not be mad?
Right, and you know what happened a lot? We have access now as adults. We have phones. Players have phones. Players have Instagram pages. Players have Twitters where fans can message something to a player if they want, right?
Wait.
Not that the player's going to respond all the time, but imagine if you saw your player do this. I bet a lot of fans of the Texans were like, how dare you? How dare you do that? You stink. He was getting a lot of hate after this. And during this, while he was still on the field, he posted after the game, and he was shocked. He said,
was shocked? You mean they were shocked?
no. As you see in the play, starting a divisional playoff game with a forced fumble was insane. So his defensive squad and him made an incredible play, right? So he's saying he started off with a forced fumble, mean the other team had the ball and he forced a fumble, mean he got that player to drop the ball, and he was hyped up. He was excited. When you force a Chiefs player to get fumble, when you do something great for your team, you get excited and you get emotional because you're like, holy cow, this is the playoffs. This is not
He
just...
was hyping his coach up.
Right, so words are covered because I clearly ran off celebrating and was celebrating with Frank, who is his coach, but I did not know there was a flag and did not know he was coming to tell me to keep my helmet on and keep my composure. As you see moments later when he was speaking to me, I would never disrespect this game, organization, or team and coaches. So he was so excited and very emotional about an awesome play that he did. And you're not allowed to take your helmet off if you are on the field.
Why not?
It's a penalty. It's unsafe, first of all. You're not allowed to take your helmet off if you're on the field. Once you step onto the field, your helmet is on. So he took his helmet off, right? And what he didn't realize was after that play, after he took his helmet off and was excited, he didn't realize that there was a flag. There was a penalty. So he's going over to his coach to be like, yeah, man, we got it. But the coach sees that he's taking his helmet off and there's a flag, so the coach is trying to be like, wait, there's a flag. But he doesn't see that there's a flag. He doesn't realize the situation that has happened after. A lot of people were portraying him in a bad light, as a bad teammate. And now, because of what the media portrayed him, because of what people took this, and immediately, the game was still going on. Social media, the internet was flooded with Texans players shoved his coach in anger. Immediately, these things are flooding on the internet about him. And he sees this after the game, and he now has to go and advocate for himself and say, wait, that's not That's not what happened. I was in the heat of the moment. I was excited. I was actually going to celebrate. I didn't realize there was a flag. I didn't realize what was going on. But it just goes to show you that sometimes we want to believe everything that we see on the internet, right? We want to believe everything we hear from a friend. We want to believe everything we see. But sometimes you have to, before you paint him as a bad person, which a lot of people did, a lot of people were flooding his pages with mean, nasty comments, calling him very mean things because of that, when they didn't know the full story. So you have to sometimes say, wait a second, I know this perspective. Before I judge this person, let me see what this person has to say. Just like AJ Brown. People wanted to paint him as a bad teammate for reading on the sidelines. But what we realized was like, wait, it was actually helping him calm his mind. That's actually what he does to calm himself and get himself centered. Before we start painting a picture about who we think people are, give them the opportunity. Before now this player had to, defend himself and stick up for himself because people painted him in a bad light. How do you think that might have felt for him?
Sad.
Yeah, it stinks. Like after you just lose your playoff game, you open your phone and you see like hate, when he's already probably feeling upset about the game and about what happened. He sees hate, right? So it's important that we are kind. The point of this is to remind you that you can't always believe the first thing you see. Take a moment to get both perspectives. Take a moment to see both sides of a story before you hop to one conclusion. Okay? This goes for your life, with your friends, with situations that happen. Take a moment to try to see both sides before you start calling people mean or calling people a bad person or a bad teammate. Because now, after he lost, this is what he had to go through.